My name's Matt from Kintrip and Motorhome Hire. Today we're going to do the virtual handover tour of our new 6/7 berth Rimmer Evo Sound motorhome. This is the newest motorhome on our fleet. It's on a 2020 plate and it has absolutely all the mod cons you want. It also has solar panels on top of this one, so perfect for wild camping. Right, we'll start the tour off just with the diesel. This one also has our blue, so when that needs topping up, there is an indicator on the dashboard of the van for this. So actually to gain access to the diesel and the AdBlue, you need to open the door. So here, once the passenger door is open, you can then open the flaps. Here is your diesel. There is no key for this one, it's just a little flap. You just pop your nozzle in, and there is your AdBlue. AdBlue you can find at petrol stations, all petrol stations. They're not all on the pump. Some petrol stations have it on the pump. Some places you have to buy a couple litre container with a little nozzle on, and you just pour it into there. Right, in here is your leisure battery compartment. I don't think there's any reason why you would need to get into this, rather than it being a faulty battery, and you may have to maybe change it while you're out and about. We would obviously refund you for this if this happened. So undo it, you just pop your key in, undo them like that, turn both of them and get into there. And like I say, that is your leisure battery compartment. And then to close it, just pop it like that, pop your key back in, turn it, and then just pop them in like that. So they are a bit weird, but so just turn your key first, turn it and lock it. Like so. Like I said before, this is a 6/7 berth motorhome, so you can use it both ways. You can lose one of the bunk beds, which gains you extra space in the garage, or if you have it as a 7 berth motorhome, the garage space is reduced a fair old bit because you've got the bunk bed there. To actually open this up, you just pop your key in both sides. You literally press those two little clips in there. That pops open like so. Once that opens, you pop that up. You then have a little supporting arm. There's a little hole in there. Just pop the supporting arm into that. And then we've got access, what I call, to our garage. Inside our garage is what we have. We have all our accessories that we supply with our motorhome. We have a large camping table. We have a washing line, which is a tripod sort of washing line, so great for drying your washing. We have 6 outdoor chairs. We also have a windbreak in here. Other things we have in here is your levelling blocks. So if you get onto a pitch, you've got a set of levelling blocks there to level up the car and the motorhome. We also have our electric hookup. We have your toilet, eco green toilet chemicals. And like I said about the AdBlue, we will have a little bit of a spare one in here just in case you, in a bit of an emergency, do it. That is the AdBlue you can buy from the garage with the little nozzle in there. This motorhome, the same as obviously a lot of new motorhomes now, do not come with a spare wheel. So what happens is you have a puncture repair kit here. It shows you how to use it. You basically got to pump it up with a fluid, pump the tyre up, and then get obviously to the nearest tyre place and change the tyre as soon as you can. We also have a rubber mallet there for knocking in the windbreak. Other things we have in here is this part here makes up the little single bed inside on the dinette side, which is on the small side, the little one. And this here you put around the cooker inside when you use it, just to protect the bits around the motorhome. This garage also can, like I say, we can lose the bottom bunk bed and create a larger garage here. So to do that, we would need to remove the mattress. We can remove this for you before you go away on hire, so you don't have to have this on board if you want that extra space. And literally what we do is pop that up, You've got like a little clip up there, which keeps that up of the way, and then you have a larger garage. You might be able to get 1 or 2 bikes in there or whatever. We do also have a little light in the garage as well, so if it's dark, there is light there. And then obviously to pop it all back together, I won't put everything in, I'll just show you the operation of the locks. So what you would need to do is pop your little support arm back up in the clip, pop that back down. You literally push that in like so, push that in like so, and just lock the garage up. Right, here's the location of the cassette. Basically we have a toilet inside and everything that goes down the toilet goes into the cassette. This is the cupboard for that. Basically all you need to do is obviously once it's full, is literally pull that little blue catch up there, remove the cassette. You can then wheel it off to your campsite or to your chemical disposal point. You literally need to open that up, pour everything down the chemical disposal point on the campsite. Then what I tend to do is pop a sort of water, about 1/3 of water in it, give it a good shake, and then out again. And then in the side of the motorhome was our green chemicals for the toilet. What you want to do is put a couple caps down that so it keeps the toilet nice and fresh for use. And then obviously once you bring it back, what you want to do is just pop it in. You need to make sure this little blue clip clips over that point. You also need to make sure that the toilet is closed inside. There's a little lever which opens to let everything into the cassette. That needs to be closed before you remove the toilet. There is some instructions here on how to clean this area and how to remove it and how to put this back in right. So in the garage is your electric hookup lead. You get 2 bits on this. You get one with a flap. The bit with the flap goes onto the motorhome. That bit there runs off to your campsite electric point. So obviously to get this on, you need to open this up. You need to lift this flap up, pop the flat over and locate it in fully. You then need to run the whole of the lead off because this gets very hot if left coiled up and potentially could catch on fire. So you want to reel it all off, nice and neat. Pop that in the campsite end, make sure it's located properly, and then you should be fine to go. There is a little indicator on the display panel inside to make sure to tell you that this is connected correctly. If for some reason it's not working, you need to check the fuses at the campsite end, and if they are all correct, we would then need to check the fuses inside the van. And then to remove the electric hookup cable, obviously remove it from your campsite end, you have a black lever here. You need to push this black lever down. Do not try pulling this part out without pushing that down because you would never get it off. So you put that down, pull it out, and just wrap your lead back up, like so. So obviously the little lever there, to remove the electric cable, you push that down like so. Right, so here we have our freshwater fill up. We tend to fill the tank a little bit before you go. We don't tend to fill it full now because obviously the weight load capacity is probably a bit too much while you're driving around. So we'll fill this up probably around 1/4 to 1/3 of full to get you going. What you need to do, we supply a 6-meter hose, which will be in the garage, with a selection of adapters to connect to the taps. Obviously connect to the tap, undo this, lift the cap out, fill the water until you see water come out the end. You then know it's full, and then just pop that back in like so and drop the cap off. Down low here we have the emptying point for the wastewater. So inside you'll have an indicator to tell you when your wastewater is full. So this water is all the stuff you use for showering, anything that goes down the sinks and the basins basically. Also the freshwater tank and the drainage tank tend to be roughly the same size, so when you run out of fresh water you then do know that this will need emptying. Basically every motorhome, well every campsite tends to have a motorhome service point, so you need to find the drain. Once you find the drain, we pull it like so and all the water will come out. Once it's out, you just pop it back in again. Right, here we have our gas locker. So obviously when you're travelling around, please make sure your gas is off. Probably just turn the gas off really after you use it, really. So to get in, you've got the big key here. It is a little bit stiff, this one, because it goes against the rubber inside. So pop it in. We need to turn it clockwise to open it. Once we get in there, we've got 2 large gas bottles. So what you need to do is just spin this one around a bit so we can see, is we have the on-off switch at the top here. So at the moment it's in the off position. So what we need to do to turn it on, we need to turn this anti-clockwise like so. Open fully. That'll be the gas on. What I normally do is go to the gas hob and just test that out. And then you know you've got gas on. If this gets empty, we do have a spare bottle here. Inside the driver's side door, just inside in the little shelf there, we have the spanner to open up these. To undo this, the thread is in the opposite direction. So on a normal thread, where you think you're tightening it, you would actually be loosening it on this, and vice versa. If you're actually normally loosening, this is tight. So all you've got to remember is the thread is the opposite way around to a normal thread. Obviously, before you drive off again or finish with everything gas wise, just make sure it's closed like so, and then you can pop the spanner back in the driver's door, pop that closed, and just turn that anti-clockwise to close. Right, I'm just going to run through the operation of the handbrake, because it is a bit of a strange handbrake on this one, because a lot of our other motorhomes, it's kind of normal, it's in the opposition. This one's always down. At the moment, the handbrake is on. If we wanted to release the handbrake, we've got to pull it up, like so, press the button in, and that releases it, like so. So the vehicle's now moving. But obviously it drops back down again. That is the correct position. Obviously then, if you want to bring the handbrake back on, you don't need to push the button in. It's just like a standard handbrake. You hear it click, like so, and it just pops back down again. And that's the handbrake fully located. So now the vehicle's not moving. Right, to gain access to the bonnet, which hopefully you shouldn't have to do really, because we make sure it's topped up with oil and obviously windscreen fluid before every hire, we need to turn this key anti-clockwise and then turn it clockwise just to release after you've gone anti-clockwise, and then you have the little bracing arm there just to hold that up, and then just to close it again, just literally just drop it down, slam it, remove the key. Right, to gain access to the motorhome, we need to unlock this door. There is a bit of a strange mechanism on these Continental motorhomes, because it feels like to unlock the motorhome, you would have to turn that clockwise, like so, to unlock it, but it doesn't. It's the opposite way around. You need to do anti-clockwise, like so, and that then unlocks the door. Like so. Right, here we have the main control panel for the motorhome. So whether you're at a campsite and you're plugged into an electric hookup, or you're sort of just out for a day and you fancy having a cup of coffee or something on a roadside or by a beach, power anything up in the motorhome, you need to come in here. So basically what we've got to do is turn the on button on there. Here is a little orange display symbol. So once you've plugged the electric hookup lead in, to know that it is 100% hooked up and it's ready to go, there is a little orange symbol there that will come on. So initially I would turn on the lights. You've got 3 lights here, just turn them all on. You also then got the water pump, and that's all you're going to need really. You do have indicators down the side here which tells you, number 1 is the so I'll compress the information there, so it shows you fresh water in, drainage in, and all the indicators and that, and obviously the power within the leisure battery. To turn this off, you just literally you can turn the lights off like so, you can turn it all off like that, or you could just turn the main power switch off and turn it all off. So basically you would then turn that off literally just if you're going out for the day or you're going home, that all needs to be turned off. Obviously over here, this is your timer controller for your hot water and heating. What I would normally do is obviously press for on. You can then change your hours. Let's say it's 11:30. Once you're happy it's 11, you press the button. That will take you to the minutes, and then we can set it to 11:30. Once we've done that, we then just go through the hot water and heating functions. The hot water function is the little thermostat in the water here. So what we need to do is rotate the button again until you get a flashing hot water symbol. Press that and you've got the off position, an eco position, a hot position and a boost position. So you decide to choose what you want there, alright? And then you obviously press what you want, so say eco. Heating, we then come across to heating. We push the button and then set desired temperature. So if it's 20 degrees, you just click that, that's set. Right, so if you want to set the timer up on this for your hot water and heating to come on in the morning, you need to come around to this clock down in the left-hand corner. You need to press the button and then set your start time. Your start time is when the heating and hot water will come on. So if you wanted it on for 8 o'clock in the morning, you select 8 o'clock, press the button, and then you can set your minutes if you want minutes. Press the button, end time. So if you want to finish that at 10 o'clock or 10:15 or whatever, just press that. You then set your room stat on your heating. So this is your desired temperature of the van. So if you set it at 20 degrees, you then need to set your hot water. So whether you want it on eco, hot or boost. So if we pick hot, click that. You need to select your power source. So whether you're on gas or electric, we need to be on electric 2 in the UK. Press that, and this is your fan speed. So the fan speed is for how fast the hot heat is coming through, because it's blow air heating. So you can set your fan speed either on a low, which is an eco, or a high. Pick that, and then you just set that to on, and that's your timer all set up. And then just come out with the back button. So we do actually have another control panel down here for light. So instead of you, if it's a dark night, instead of you coming in and tripping over the steps to try to get to this control panel, we do have the switches down here as well. You just press to go off and then press to come back on again. There's your little 240 point by the kitchen. Basically that would go like that. This would probably stop any draft coming in to affect the flames while you're cooking, if you have the door open. You then can lift the lid up, make sure your gas is on. You can then turn, there is no sparkling lighter with this, but we do have a lighter in the drawer for you to be able to light what you want. Once you finish with this, obviously turn them off and make sure you leave the lid open probably for sort of 15-20 minutes just to let that cool down, because potentially if you put the lid down on a hot surface, the glass could shatter. We also have the sink here. Obviously, so we have the control panel up there. We're full of water. We turn the water pump on at the control panel, and then we'll have water at the tap. One little thing here is obviously to gain access to all your cupboards. As you can see here, you have all your pots, pans, dustpan and brushes, cleaning products, fire blanket and all within this cupboard here. You do have little push things in. Also this here, to gain access to these two drawers, there is a locking mechanism. The reason for this is if you were to go around the corner and it wasn't locked, all these drawers can come flying open. So we need to press that to open, but you've got to put your knee against it. And then you've got all your cutlery. There's your lighter for your hob. So we've got your cutlery and bits in there. And then below that, we've got all your pots, your plates and your cups and things like that. And then to close it again, you just close it. You need to put your knee against it a little bit. And it locks against there. Right, so all windows do open. The most important bit about this, because we have lost 1 or 2 windows over the years, is you have to make sure all your windows are locked fully before you drive, and skylights before you drive down the road. Obviously to open the window, you've got your 3 little catches. You've got a little button here you press, little button there that you press, little button there that you press. Slowly push that up, locate it, and they stay open. Then to close again, push it up and let it down. Push your buttons in again, lock fully before you drive away, and that's nice and secure. We also have blackout blinds and fly screens. So fly screens are on the pull down. So if you want your fly screen while your window's open, you can do that. If you want to convert to a blackout blind, just pull the whole thing up like that. And that's that. And then to release it all again, just drop that down like so. So here we have the cupboards. We have a lot of storage cupboards in this motorhome, as you can imagine. To open the cupboards, you've got to be quite careful here. You've got a little catch here. What you need to do is keep hold of this cupboard until it goes up. I will show you the reason why. Is if you let go of the cupboard, it slams against the roof and possibly could eventually put a hole in the roof. So you do need to keep hold of that cupboard and kind of control it in the up position. And then just to close it again, just pop it in and lock. Also what we have here, we have lots of LED lighting all the way around the camper van. There are little on-off switches here, so you can just turn off and you can just turn on. Storage cupboards, we have LED lighting. You've just got a little blue light here. Just press that on, just a little touch switch, and then touch it again for off. We also have ceiling lights. Again, just touch them like so, and touch them off. Skylines, the roofs, or the skylights, to open these, you've got to pull them, and just like that. So you need to pull it down and push it, all right? So open it, then to close it again, you've got to pull it down and just pull it towards yourself. Again, you've really got to make sure these are shut before you drive down the road, because obviously losing the skylight wouldn't be very good. We also got blackout blinds, and we also got fly screens as well, so you can theoretically have the window open and stop all the flies coming in. Right, here we are in the toilet shower area. It's quite a good size. You have a good freestanding shower in this position here. We have our toilet and we have our basin. To turn the lighting on in the toilet, again, we've got one of those little blue touch buttons underneath here. You literally touch that and all the lights in this area come on. We have our toilet. So obviously we've talked about the cassette. We've talked about putting the green eco fluid, couple caps of that into the cassette. To actually flush the toilet, what we need to do is make sure the water pump is on. We've got water coming out the taps, and then what we basically do is just press this little button there. That will put a bit of water into the pan. Once you've done that, you can use this lever here, open it, let everything drop down, and make sure it's closed again. Like I said, we've taken out the cassette toilet as well. You've got to make sure this is in the closed position. If it's in the open position and you try removing it, you can break the mechanism. So always make sure that's closed after every toilet. Number one, it stops the smells coming back into the van. And number two, if you go to remove the cassette, it's already in a closed position. There is also a little indicator on how full the cassette is here. At the moment it's in green. That will go to the red position when it's full. You also got, that's the little flush button we were talking about. And this was the little lever I was also talking about. Open to let everything in, close to stop the smells coming back in, and also to remove the cassette to empty it. And then under here, that was the little blue, the little on-off switch for the light we were talking about. And also next to that, we do have a little 3-pin plug. So again, you could pop your shaver point into there, shaver, and have a shave. Also, to open this cupboard, again, you've got central, you've got a little clip. Open that up, and again, control that going up. Inside of there, we do have a little hairdryer, which you can plug into that point. And then to close it, you just push it back down again. Obviously, when you're driving around, it needs to be basically this. We've got a strap here to keep the shower door strapped up tight. When in use, you just unclip it, pull the shower door across like so, and then when you finish, pop the shower door over, and then please do not forget to strap it up and push it on there. Right, here we have the top bunk. and the bottom bunk. So what we have here is we tend to have the cushions for the other beds in there, which are the beds I'll show you in a minute. We also have the ladder. So we have a ladder to get to the top bunk. Obviously you don't need one for the bottom bunk. Just pop the ladder in, and then you can lock the ladder off like that, so the ladder can physically not fall off. The kids can get up into the bed, or the adults, whatever. We've also got lights in both bunks, so if someone wants to read at night. We also, on the top bunk, we have an anti-roll netting, just to make sure things are safe, like so. And then we also do have curtains for your privacy as well. So exactly the same with the bottom bunk. The only thing the bottom bunk doesn't have is this anti-roll netting. And then obviously just unclip it, it's just unclip. You can pop it down. If they don't want to use that, you can roll it up, and you could theoretically just pop it under the mattress, unroll it, and then you don't have to have that. And then to remove the ladder, we just pop that back in. Obviously you've got a couple little retainers there for the curtains. You can then obviously take the ladder off if you're driving off or whatever. You just flip the little locks over, pull the ladder off, and you can pop that on the bed somewhere. So here we have a really good sized fridge freezer. Obviously to open it, we've just got like a little catch there, open. You have a good sized fridge. You also have a not a bad sized freezer compartment. We also have a drinks chiller. It could be for your wine, your beer, your kids' pop or whatever. You can pop your bottles in there and do that. The operation of the fridge, press the on button. Once it's on, you can see that we're in the auto mode. This is the mode you really need to stay in. This will find the power source that's required. So that's whether you're on electric hookup, you're while camping and you're just using gas, or the vehicle battery while you're driving. If you want to change the power source manually, you just press that button in for so many seconds. You can then flick up through the electric hookup, the battery, and the gas. And then obviously if you want to change the power point of the fridge, you need to hold that button down for another few seconds. And then you can go through obviously the range of how cold the fridge is. So I would normally recommend probably having it on about 3. And then obviously if you do want to turn the fridge off again, you literally just press the on button. So really I would suggest keeping it in auto, selecting 3, and just go with that. Right, here we have the gas cooker. So what we need to do is make sure the gas is on. It's just like a cooker at home really. Once the gas is on, you can turn this to the starting position. You can press the light on. So you've got light in the oven, and you've got the spark electrode there to spark the gas up. Once you see the flame, hold it in for about 8 to 10 seconds, slowly release, and you can pick what temperature you want. And then just to turn it off, just turn it into the off position, close the light, and close your fridge. While we're here, we have like plenty of storage in this area again. Inside this storage cupboard, again, we do have some filler cushions in there as well for making the beds up. Right, here we have the telly. This is a TV/DVD player, so if you can't get any signal, we do have some DVDs as backup. What you need to do is gain access to this cupboard. Inside this cupboard, we have the TV aerial. It is a self-seeking aerial, so you don't have to play around with it. You just got to make sure this little orange light is on. You do have an on-off switch underneath the receiver there. Once that is all in the on position, we do have the TV remote in here. Literally turn it on and do like you would do at home. You would just need to go into setup and then to tune the telly to try and find the channels. Once you found the channels, you'll be all good to go. And like I say, we do have a small selection of DVDs in here, just in case you can't get any signal, because we can't guarantee you always get your signal. You could be in a valley in Cornwall and you just might not get it. But we also do have a DAB radio there as well, so you've got a radio to listen to also. And then just close that as so. Right, we're going to go through the makeup of the single bed on the side of the diner area. We do also have a double bed this side. The actual makeup is exactly the same thing, so we'll just go through one of them. So like I say, this is potentially a 7-berth motorhome. I'll say it's probably ideal for 4, but it can potentially hold 7 people. So to start with, we want to lift this table up like so. Once we've got the table up, we want to drop that leg down. Once that leg is down, there's a couple of little pieces of wood for this to go on. So we just literally pop those bits in there. That slips in. Right, so obviously now we've got the table in position, we need to put the cushions in. So obviously we'll put one down, pop the other one in like so, pop that one down, and that makes your single bed. Vice versa with the opposite end, the table drops down exactly the same as that side. You have obviously a variation of cushions that you can use to obviously fill up the centerpiece of that bed. Right, now obviously the bed's made up, we're finished for it now, so obviously we need to put it back together. So just remove your cushions. That one goes back. So we need to remove the table, so we'll lift the table up. We will then open the leg up again, like by pushing the button in, like so. To get it onto that bar, you need to kind of go up at an angle, like so, and then drop it down. And then you can pop your cushions back, like so. Also, what I want to explain is obviously we do have 7 seat belts in here. So what we have is 2 seat belts there. We have 4 in total here, which makes 6. The 7th seat belt is in under here, like so. It is a lap belt, and that just goes across to that point there. So we have a seat belt that will wrap around your lap. And then when not in use, you can pop it back down there. This also gives you a nice little bit of extra storage as well, if you need it. And then we can just pop the cushions back, like so. And then we can just pop the headrests or the backrests back in either side. Right, here we have our top bed over the cab. This is actually a very big bed. It's, I would say it's bigger than a normal double really. We also have the ladder. So the ladder will be stored up here. So to get up onto the bed, pop the ladder into the 2 little location points, and also you have locks on these as well, so you can lock the ladder into position. Then you can go up to the bed. Once you're on the bed, you do have anti-roll things again. Again, if you don't want to use it, you can just roll this under the mattress. They can go up like so. And we also have curtains either side where you can close off the curtains. In here we also have some lights as well, which we can turn on and off. Ideal for reading and things, and there is a little shelf up there where you can put your books and things like that. There is also a window up here, so sometimes it can get a bit hot, so you might want to just have that open a little bit, especially when the sun comes up in the mornings. These little areas do get very hot. And that's really it, really. And then obviously just be careful as you're coming up and down. So just coming down now. And then when you've finished, you can pop your ladder. If you're sort of going off for the day, just pop your ladder in. Pop that up there, like so. Right, we're at the front of the cabby now, and for us to blank out at night times the light coming through here, we do have 2 curtains, one either side. Obviously it's got little retainers. You literally pull them around, and exactly the same the other side. And then just when you pack it up, just make sure you tuck it in and just obviously put it around again, because it will get in the way of the seat belt if it's not obviously strapped up properly. Also in the front cab, up in the little compartments here, we have our first aid kit. We have the high-vis jackets. We have warning triangle. And this one here has got a UK campsite guide in there also. We have the front of the cabbie. We have a reversing camera. So obviously when you go into reverse, that will automatically come on so you can see. What I do suggest is always having someone outside as you're reversing as well, just to help a little bit. I always get my wife Lisa to get out just to double check everything, because you can't necessarily see everything from that camera. Also in the glove box we have some spare bulbs for the lights, and we have a little toolkit in there. The cab itself is pretty self-explanatory. The only other thing we do have is a little, what I call a little iPad holder there. So you can put the iPad in and hold it for there. We also do have a 12 volt connector there. So obviously if you want to plug in the sat nav, you've got the handy little adapter there to plug the sat nav in. And that's about it really on the front. Obviously this one has a lovely leather steering wheel, and obviously has all the controls for the stereos, and you've also got Bluetooth on here where you can connect your phone. Saves you answering it while you're driving.